Hi everyone, this is Bliss with Blissful Divination, and today I'm going to do a Lenono reading about why Donald Trump is hesitant to be tested for C-19. And I had saw in the news that he said that he spoke to his doctor, his personal physician, and basically his physician said that he was at a low risk and that he really didn't see any reason for the president of the United States to be tested for it. So he's listening to he said that he's following the advice of his physician. So that is why he hasn't been tested yet, because he didn't feel there was a need for it to be done as upon the advice of his doctor. So what we're going to do is I'm going to program the man card to be Donald Trump. I'm going to program the woman card to be his doctor. We will let the lion be other world leaders. Let's see. We will let the snake be the C-19 virus. And we will let the fox be his advisors, whoever they may be, the people that are advising him, not just his doctor. Perhaps, whatever advice he's taking from other people that are not his doctor. Okay, so I'm doing a Lenono spread, and I'm going to set the cards up. So hopefully we can get them all in here. So 1, 2, 6, 1, 2, 3, 6. Now these cards were developed by Paris de Bono, and we set them up like this. In 3 rows of 6, and then the last 2 go at the bottom here. Okay, so they're a little bit like Lenormand cards, but the way we set them up and the way we read them are just slightly a little bit different. So let's take a look at the first card, which will be the filter of the reading. And right away, the very first card, the filter by which we read all of this, is the snake. And we, again, remember we said that the snake was programmed to be the C-19 virus. So the filter for this reading, the theme, is about the C-19 virus. So that came up straight away. Okay. The next card we come up with is mice or worry. So he may be worried and have a little bit of anxiety about getting tested. And here we have Donald Trump shows up, third card in. Okay. And the next card we have is the world leaders. The world leaders came up right after that. So perhaps he has some worry about getting tested based on what other world leaders will think. And also, I feel it's about money. It may be about his money, because we do know that he loves his money. And we have the clouds, which is about worry and anxiety and confusion. So he may not even understand how it all works, or understand, like, he's a little confused of why they would even ask him to get tested. He's kind of foggy and cloudy about the whole situation, because perhaps he feels that happens to other people and not to him. Maybe, we don't know. Let's take a look and see what's being revealed some more before we look at the picture here and do a lot of interpretation. Next, we have the anchor. And the anchor can represent like holding fast to an idea or some things, or he might be stuck in the past. But also it's about your home base, and your real estate. So we know that he's big into real estate. So he might be worried about getting tested because of what the world leaders will look like, and he's confused and all of that. Four, we have the woman, which we said again, it's his doctor, his physician. And so he's a little unclear, possibly, feeling lucky, or perhaps, his doctor told him, that he didn't have to worry about it. So he, we see the doctors in there. So that's true. We go on to 15. And we got the ring, which is commitments, contracts, partnerships, those types of things. So it also could be that he's concerned about what the other world leaders will think. Also, if it might interfere with some of his real estate contracts. Let's keep going. Then we have the stork. Travel, changes, that type of thing. Maybe he's afraid that he will get put under quarantine, and he does not want to do that because he wouldn't want to be, restricted. Nobody tell him what to do, where he can and cannot go, and what he cannot do. Let's keep looking and see further before we finish the final assessments. And we have next the cross. Okay, and the cross is about burden, suffering, blockages, and he might be afraid that if he tested positive or had to go under quarantine or something like that, that it may stop some business contracts or some dealings that he got coming up for some travel, some plans he has in the works. Next, we have the lilies, and this is about offerings or healing and that type of thing. So he might, be worried about some business offers being removed from the table, or he might have some concerns about whether he could survive it. So you know how some people will have something or be sick and they're in denial, and they won't go to the doctors because they don't want to hear that. So that might be a little bit of that. Let's go with 13. Yeah, he might be worried about, we have the scythe here, and he might be, worried about some business leaders not wanting to do business with him or meet with him or something to that effect. Let's take a look some more. Then we have the moon. We have the moon card come up. And it might be about his reputation. His personal reputation is a big consideration in this, okay? So he can't get sick, like he's not, he's Donald Trump Sr., he's himself. He, his reputation, he can't be seen as sickly or go, that type of thing. It would be probably a sign of weakness. Heart comes up. Love, about his love or passion, and partnerships and unity and that kind of thing. And so this is what he likes to do. He likes to be seen as a strong and powerful man. So getting tested, or if he tested positive, he might have to go into quarantine, and how will that look? How will that affect his money? And then we have his other advisors. Remember, we programmed the Fox card, to be, excuse me, his other advisors, not his doctor. So they show up here, and it may be that his partners, advisors, or whatever are advising him not to get it done. Okay. We have the birds, gossip and chatter and that type of thing. So worrying about what will people say, it'll be all over the news. They'll slaughter him in the news, and that can hurt his reputation or his chances, because the election is an election year. And that can be the key to everything. Him testing positive for coronavirus, or, his reputation being damaged, might be what is, his advisors are telling him. Don't do this, you know what I mean? And something suspicious opening up, like, what else is he hiding type thing. And then we get the sun, and that tells you that's the end of the story. So that's what this is about. So let's look a little deeper, shall we? Okay. On his mind, we have the advisors and everybody who are self-serving, these sneaky people, these people who are putting their own needs first are on his mind. He's listening to those people who think like him, basically. He's listening to what they say about it hurting his chances for business, for the election, and underlying all of that might be, like I said, his business dealings. And he's not a patient man. Being in quarantine might actually, be a type of hardship for him. Okay? And it would be a burden. So we look here. It's a burden. It would be a burden. It would truly get on his nerves. It's like, it would be the end for him, he feels, perhaps. And then again, he's over here knighting his doctor. So his doctor is reinforcing what he's saying to himself. I don't need to be tested. I don't have coronavirus. There's no need for me to even go through with that. Okay. So let's take a look about the virus itself. It's knighting his reputation. So basically, it might harm his reputation, and it goes both. It's double knighting it. So yeah, he's worried about his reputation and everybody, whatever else is being said about that. Again, with this worry card with the mice, he's worried about his contracts and business dealings. Also, yeah. So, and he's confused and kind of doubly worried. So the mice is knighting the clouds. So that that's really on his mind as well. And he thinks he's far removed. He's way over here facing in a total other direction. That he's not even really paying attention to the coronavirus, which is up here, way up here, over here in the upper left hand, very first card. He's down here on the right with his back to it. Okay, so he's not even focusing on that, because he's who he is. He does not feel that it would, excuse me, affect him. Now, there's so much more that we could possibly say and get into it, but not to make this too long. It's just a general quick snapshot. But I will say one thing about the gossip and the talking and the news and the media. His advisors, it's knighting the advisors. The advisors are worried about how the news media will take it. And that would be a problem. With the cross and the birds together, they will have a heyday in the media about this. And also, they're trying to hold fast to his position. They think that if they can just get through these next few months, they feel like he's got this in the bag. Also, his doctor, it seems like his doctor's talking about it. His doctor's talking. His doctor is, worried about legal things, perhaps, and how it could affect. Because I feel like he's not going to have a doctor that's basically not Team Donald. You know what I mean? So he has his own commitments. Maybe he don't want to get fired. Because what? Get tested? Fired. Get him out of here. Also, but the doctor also seems to be concerned with him traveling. Possibly the doctor advised him not to travel. And he may have advised him not to travel so he don't get it. Or it might possibly be that the doctor advised him not to travel so he don't spread it. But legally, as a person in the medical profession, he has to worry about, his commitments to health and wellness, but also his contract possibly with Donald Trump. If he says the wrong things, advises the wrong thing, then he may be fired and put out of that. So yeah, we have him listening to his doctor. Donald Trump is on the doctor's mind. The doctor is also worried about him traveling. The doctor is also worried about his commitments with his advice. He has to be very measured and metered in what he says about that. Okay, and I'm curious about the one card that did not show up, and that's the stars. And that can be, aspiration, hopes, dreams, wishes, options, network. So basically, perhaps the doctor, what's sitting beneath the doctor is that he really didn't have many options that he could offer that would be acceptable because he knows his patient. So he probably limited the options that he gave. And so, yeah, I truly feel he's next to worry and anxiety. The doctor is facing the clouds, right? So I'm pretty sure he's worried about it, because this is what is first and foremost. He has some anxiety and worry. Trump is keeping this person up at night. So that's what I see as the reason why Donald Trump has not been tested for the C-19 virus. And I want to thank you guys for your time, and thanks for watching. See you next time.